The illusion of abundance. We've never been more connected, and yet more alone. In an age where technology bridges continents with a single tap, it's paradoxical that many find themselves feeling isolated. Social media platforms, dating apps, and instant messaging promise endless opportunities to meet new people, to connect, and to love. The digital age has transformed the way we interact, making it easier than ever to reach out, swipe right, or send a message. Yet, amidst this abundance of choice, genuine connection and lasting commitment seem increasingly elusive. Technology has undeniably simplified the initial steps of meeting someone. But while the doors to social interaction have swung wide open, the threshold to deeper, meaningful relationships appears higher than ever. The ease of meeting often breeds a reluctance to commit, fostering a culture of fleeting encounters and perpetual searching. As the pool of potential partners grows, paradoxically, the depth of connection often shrinks. If love is everywhere, why does it feel so rare? This question lingers, underscoring the unsettling reality beneath our hyper-connected lives. The illusion of abundance masks a deeper scarcity, a longing for authentic bonds in a sea of superficial connections. This introduction explores the complex dynamics between technology, human connection, and the paradox of feeling alone in an age designed to unite us. The romantic myth, we were sold. From an early age, we're told that love is supposed to be perfect. This message is woven into the fabric of our culture, beginning with the fairy tales we hear as children. Stories of princes and princesses, magical encounters, and happily ever after. Endings create an idealized vision of romance that feels enchanting but unrealistic. These tales plant the idea that there is one perfect person, a soulmate, destined to complete us effortlessly and forever. As we grow, this notion of the one is reinforced by countless movies, books, and social media portrayals of love. Hollywood romances often showcase flawless relationships filled with grand gestures and instant connections, while popular novels paint love as an all-consuming passion that conquers all obstacles. Social media adds another layer, presenting curated snapshots of couples' seemingly flawless lives, making it easy to believe that everyone else is living out these fairy tale romances, except us. This cultural conditioning sets unattainable expectations for real relationships. The truth is, love is rarely perfect. It involves effort, compromise, and moments of doubt. The central conflict emerges between the fantasy we've been sold and the reality we must navigate. When relationships don't mirror the idealized versions ingrained in us, disappointment and confusion often follow. Recognizing this disconnect is the first step toward healthier, more authentic love. Understanding that soulmates aren't flawless beings, but partners who grow and work alongside us helps shift the narrative from myth to reality. One that embraces imperfection and values genuine connection over fantasy. Modern love and the fear of vulnerability. We crave intimacy, the deep connection that roots us to others and ourselves. Yet, paradoxically, we often recoil from the very thing that makes intimacy possible: being truly seen. In a world that celebrates curated personas and polished facades, vulnerability becomes a risk, a dangerous exposure of our flaws, fears, and imperfections. This tension breeds self-protection. We guard ourselves behind emotional walls, sometimes resorting to ghosting, avoidance, or emotional detachment as shields against potential hurt. Ghosting, in particular, offers a cruel kind of safety. It cuts ties without confrontation, leaving feelings unspoken and wounds unhealed. These behaviors may feel like preservation, but they quietly erode the possibility of genuine connection. Modern culture conditions us to prioritize image over authenticity. Social media platforms reward highlight reels and filtered realities, subtly teaching us that how we appear is more important than who we really are. In this climate, showing vulnerability can seem like social suicide, a gamble with our carefully crafted identities. Yet, beneath this armor, the desire to be loved for who we truly are remains. It's an ache that no amount of likes or superficial attention can soothe. So the question lingers, haunting and urgent. How can we love if we won't even allow ourselves to be known? To love fully, we must embrace vulnerability, risking exposure in exchange for connection. Only by letting down our defenses can we move beyond loneliness and find intimacy that heals and sustains. The trap of emotional dependency. Emotional dependency often masquerades as love, but in reality, it is more akin to addiction than a genuine connection. When people confuse validation with affection, they fall into a dangerous cycle where their sense of worth depends entirely on another person's approval or presence. This craving for external validation fuels the illusion that love is about filling an internal void, rather than sharing mutual respect and support. One of the most perilous beliefs in this trap is thinking, "I can't live without them." This mindset reduces love to a necessity for survival instead of a source of joy and growth. It creates an unhealthy attachment that breeds control and jealousy, as the dependent partner tries to hold on tightly to the relationship, fearing loss above all else. In doing so, they often suppress their own needs, desires, and even their identity, self-erasing to keep the other person close. The consequences of emotional dependency ripple far beyond the relationship itself. It undermines personal autonomy and breeds resentment, as both partners get caught in a web of neediness and insecurity. Instead of fostering trust and freedom, the relationship becomes a battleground of manipulation and fear. True love, by contrast, complements your identity. It does not replace it. Real affection supports your individuality and encourages you to grow as your authentic self. It thrives on mutual respect, freedom, and emotional security, allowing both partners to feel whole within themselves. Recognizing this difference is key to breaking free from the trap of emotional dependency and embracing healthier, more fulfilling connections. Obsession, idealization, and historical madness. Throughout history, idealized love has proven to be a double-edged sword, capable of elevating souls, yet destroying them in equal measure. Figures such as Napoleon Bonaparte, Cleopatra, and Goethe's Werther serve as poignant examples of individuals consumed by an obsession that blurred the lines between fantasy and reality. Napoleon's passionate fixation on Josephine, Cleopatra's legendary romance with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and Werther's tragic infatuation all reflect a historical madness, where love becomes less about genuine connection and more about an unattainable ideal. Literature acts as a mirror to this phenomenon, illustrating the destructive power of such obsessive love. Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet portrays two young lovers whose idealized passion propels them toward an inevitable, fatal end. Similarly, Tolstoy's Anna Karenina explores the agonies of idealization and societal constraints, demonstrating how obsession can shatter lives and reputations. These stories expose the peril of mistaking fantasy for truth, revealing how our deepest desires can distort reality itself. This historical and literary madness raises a compelling question. If even kings and legendary figures have fallen prey to such destructive obsession, how can we, ordinary individuals, hope to escape it? The seductive nature of idealization ensnares us all, reminding us that obsession is not merely a personal folly, but a universal human vulnerability, one that demands our vigilance lest we too lose ourselves in the dream. The exhaustion of perfection. Modern love burns bright and fast, often collapsing under the immense pressure of our own expectations. We demand constant happiness, emotional precision, and flawless chemistry, as if love were some effortless, flawless state to be maintained at all times. The prevailing belief seems to be, if it's hard, it must not be right. This mindset leaves little room for struggle, growth, or imperfection, which are natural parts of any deep connection. Instead, we walk away too soon, again and again, searching for an idealized version of love that rarely exists outside of movies or social media highlights. When difficulties arise, rather than leaning in and working through discomfort, many see it as a sign to quit, to move on to the next possibility. But true love is not about perfection. It isn't a constant high or an unbroken string of magical moments. Real love is messy and complicated. It is two people, flawed and human, who choose each other every day despite the hardships. Love is a commitment to refuse giving up, even when it's difficult. It's a continuous effort to understand, forgive, and grow together. In truth, love isn't perfect. It's just two people who refuse to quit. In today's hyper-connected world, dating apps offer seemingly endless options, yet this abundance often leads to paralysis rather than empowerment. With a swipe, potential partners appear and disappear like digital ghosts, making it easy to treat connections as disposable. This marketplace of affection conditions people to believe everyone is replaceable, fostering insecurity rather than genuine connection. The constant comparison to others' curated profiles fuels dissatisfaction. When potential matches are always just a click away, it's hard to feel confident that the person in front of you is truly the one. This mistrust seeps into relationships, eroding the foundation of intimacy. Instead of deepening bonds, endless choice encourages a perpetual search for someone better, never settling or fully committing. Ironically, the fear of commitment often masquerades as a desire for freedom. People celebrate their autonomy while simultaneously avoiding the vulnerability real intimacy demands. This protective mechanism creates a paradox. The more options and control we have, the more disconnected we become from authentic relationships. Are we genuinely exploring possibilities or merely running from intimacy? The question hangs in the air, highlighting a modern dilemma. In a world where connection is just a tap away, loneliness and emotional distance persist. The challenge lies in breaking free from the illusion of infinite choice to embrace the courage required for true closeness, vulnerability, and commitment. Only then can we move beyond the superficial interactions of digital dating and rediscover meaningful human connection. In modern society, romantic love is often glorified as the ultimate form of connection, overshadowing the profound value of platonic friendships. We are conditioned to believe that finding a romantic partner is the pinnacle of intimacy. Yet this mindset leads many to sacrifice lifelong friendships for fleeting romances. The tragic consequence is a cultural undervaluing of friendships that nurture the soul in ways romance cannot always replicate. True intimacy, deep, enduring, and transformative, does not hinge on romance. It thrives in honest conversations, shared vulnerabilities, and mutual growth that friendship uniquely fosters. Aristotle famously described friendship as soul reflection, where friends mirror and refine each other's character, providing unwavering support beyond the whims of passion. This perspective invites a challenging question. What if love was never meant to be found in one person alone? Perhaps love's fullest expression exists across a constellation of relationships, romantic and platonic alike. By placing romantic love on a pedestal, society narrows our capacity to experience the rich, diverse connections that truly sustain us. Reclaiming the value of friendship means recognizing its irreplaceable role in our emotional lives. It demands we resist the temptation to view relationships competitively, as if love is a scarce resource, and instead embrace a more expansive, inclusive understanding of human connection. Only then can we preserve the profound intimacy of friendship and, in doing so, enrich our capacity to love deeply, broadly, and authentically. The illusion of compatibility. We often chase the myth of the perfect match, the idea that somewhere out there is a person who fits us like a glove, someone who instinctively agrees with our thoughts, values, and desires. This illusion convinces us that true compatibility means effortless harmony, as if love should feel like a seamless, natural agreement from the very start. But real compatibility doesn't come from instant understanding or shared opinions. It is forged through patience, effort, and willingness to embrace differences rather than run from them. Relationships aren't about two identical souls clicking perfectly. They're about two distinct individuals choosing to grow together despite their mismatches. Many couples give up when confronted with disagreements or contrasting views, mistaking these differences for incompatibility. They fail to see that love isn't an effortless state. It's a commitment to navigate those differences with respect and curiosity. In fact, it's through working through conflict and learning to understand one another's perspectives that true connection deepens. So, what if the one isn't found but forged? What if love is less about stumbling upon a perfect fit and more about the daily, often messy work of building harmony in imperfection? Compatibility, then, becomes less about innate sameness and more about the shared journey of growth, where differences don't divide, but rather enrich the bond. Love, it turns out, is not a fairy tale of ease, but a masterpiece of effort. Love without responsibility. In today's culture, there is a growing desire for passion without commitment, desire without obligation. We want the thrill of connection, but shy away from the responsibilities it demands. Fear of labels and avoidance of difficult conversations have become the norm, leaving love to exist in a fragile, transient state. It's as if love is reduced to consumption, something to be enjoyed momentarily and discarded when inconvenient, rather than a deep, enduring connection that requires effort and presence. This trend reveals a paradox. We crave intimacy, yet resist the very elements that make it sustainable. True love isn't merely about feeling good in the moment. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. Responsibility in love doesn't mean control or restriction. It means accountability, care, and commitment. When responsibility and freedom coexist, love flourishes. Responsibility provides the soil for roots to grow, while freedom allows the branches to reach toward the sky. What if it's not love that fails us, but our refusal to show up for it? Perhaps love's disappointments stem less from its nature, and more from our unwillingness to embrace the demands it places on us. Without responsibility, love is a fleeting sensation. With it, love becomes a transformative force, messy, challenging, but profoundly meaningful. The question remains, are we ready to love fully, with both passion and responsibility intertwined? Returning to real love, the emotional and philosophical crisis we face today reveals a deep confusion about love itself. Far from being broken, love remains a powerful, enduring force, yet our approach to it often feels fractured and misguided. In a world flooded with fleeting connections, instant gratification, and endless distractions, we have lost sight of what it truly means to love. This crisis is less about love's failure and more about how we misunderstand and mishandle it. Real love still exists, quietly and patiently beneath the noise of modern life. It's not a flawless fairy tale, but a profound, sometimes messy journey of connection, vulnerability, and growth. The challenge lies in recognizing and embracing this reality amid the constant pressure to seek perfection or escape discomfort. Perhaps the true crisis of modern love isn't about finding someone better or more compatible. It's about becoming someone capable of loving deeply, someone who can stay present, face fears, and commit without running away. To return to real love, we must shift our focus inward, cultivating patience, empathy, and courage. In doing so, we rediscover that love is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived, one that calls us to grow into the fullness of our humanity and to create meaningful bonds that withstand the tests of time.